There was a beggar who lived at a railway station in a city. He used to fill his stomach by begging from passengers traveling on the trains that came and went. One day, while he was begging, he noticed a tall man dressed in a suit. He thought to himself, "This man looks very wealthy. If I beg from him, he will surely give me good money." So, he started begging from the tall man. Looking at the beggar, the tall man said, "You always keep asking from others. Do you ever give anything to anyone?" The beggar replied, "Sir, I am a beggar. I always take from people. I am in no position to give anything to anyone." The tall man said, "If you cannot give anything to anyone, then you also have no right to ask for anything. I am a businessman and I believe in give and take. If you have something to give me, only then can I give you something in return." Saying this, the tall man boarded the train and left. The beggar kept thinking about what the tall man had said. His words struck a chord in the beggar's heart. He thought, "Maybe I don't receive much in alms because I don't give anything to others in return, but I am just a beggar. I have nothing to give anyone. How long can I keep asking without offering something in return?" After much thought, the beggar decided that whoever gave him alms, he would give something in return. But then a question arose in his mind. "I am a beggar myself, so what can I give in exchange for alms?" For 2 days, he kept thinking about this question, but could not find an answer. On the 3rd day, as he sat near the station, his eyes fell on some flowers blooming on the plants nearby. He thought, "Why not give flowers to people in return for their alms?" He liked this idea and plucked some flowers from the plants. He then went to beg on the trains. Now, whenever someone gave him alms, he would give them flowers in return. People happily accepted the flowers and kept them. From that day on, the beggar started plucking flowers and giving them to people in exchange for alms. Within a few days, the beggar realized that more and more people had started giving him alms. He would collect all the flowers near the station and hand them out in exchange for alms. As long as he had flowers, many people would give him alms. But when he ran out of flowers, he would stop receiving alms. This continued daily. One day, while he was begging, he noticed the same tall man sitting on the train, the one who had inspired him to give flowers in exchange for alms. He immediately approached the man and said, "Today, I have some flowers to give you in return for your alms. Please give me something, and in return, I will give you flowers." The tall man gave him some money as alms, and the beggar handed him a few flowers. The tall man was impressed and said, "Wow, that's great. Today, you have become a businessman like me." Saying this, the tall man took the flowers and got off at his station. Once again, the tall man's words deeply resonated with the beggar. He kept thinking about what the man had said and felt incredibly happy. His eyes sparkled with newfound determination, and he felt as if he had discovered the key to success that could change his life. He got off the train immediately, looked up to the sky with excitement, and shouted loudly, "I am not a beggar. I am a businessman. I can also become rich." People nearby thought the beggar had gone mad. From the next day, the beggar was never seen at the station again. 6 months later, 2 men in suits were traveling on the same train. They noticed each other, and one extended his hand and said, "Do you recognize me?" The second man replied, "No, I don't think we've met before." The first man smiled and said, "Think again. This isn't the first time we've met. It's actually the 3rd. The second man said, "I don't recall. When did we meet before?" The first man smiled and replied, "We've met twice on this train before. I am the beggar you once taught what to do with my life, and then reminded me who I really am." The second man, astonished, smiled and said, "Oh, now I remember. You're the beggar I once refused to give alms to. The second time, I bought flowers from you. But where are you headed now in this suit? "And what are you doing these days?" The first man replied, "Yes, I am the same beggar. But today, I am a successful flour merchant, traveling to another city for business." He paused for a moment and then said, "In our first meeting, you explained a fundamental law of nature to me. We only receive when we give. This law of give and take truly works. I've experienced it myself. However, I always saw myself as a beggar and never thought beyond that. In our second meeting, you told me I had become a businessman. That's when I realized why people were giving me so much alms. They weren't giving me alms. They were paying for the flowers I was offering. People were buying my flowers because they were cheaper than anywhere else. In their eyes, I was a small businessman, but in my own eyes, I was still a beggar. After what you told me, I realized that I wasn't a beggar anymore. I was a businessman. With the money I earned from selling flowers on the train, I bought more flowers and started my own business. People here love flowers, and their love for them has made me a successful flower merchant today." Both men were happy and got off the train at the station together. As they walked away, they continued discussing their businesses. This story teaches us many valuable lessons. The tall businessman understood the law of give and take very well. All successful entrepreneurs in the world use this principle to achieve success. He shared this principle with the beggar, who adopted it and saw a significant transformation in his life. The beggar changed his mindset, and his life changed accordingly. The story reminds us that if we change our way of thinking, we can achieve anything. If we continue to see ourselves as small, we will always remain small. To become big, we must think big and believe in ourselves. The essence of the story is that success lies within our mindset. Respect yourself, think big, and watch how you climb the heights of success.